But if you were playing Price is Right rules, you went over. Price is Right rule, which you guys are probably... Price is Right. Price is Right is a daytime TV show. If you're sick and staying home before YouTube was a thing, you'd probably end up watching Price is Right, which is why, like, my age of people, we always reference Price is Right. Go ahead and sharpen your pencil, Lily. Go ahead. Or did you break it? Don't push so hard. Like, I'm serious, because there's a little sensor in there that sees when a pencil is in it. The words, I can clap now. The words on the paper are not decoration. They are instructions. Before we get to this, because I know some of you are about to ask me, yes, I graded your tests, but no, I have not gotten to put the grades in my grade book yet, because today got away from me. I'm now teaching foundations this week because pumpkin dropped, so I have less free time than normal. So you're not getting your test back today. You'll probably get them back tomorrow. I have not put P's or M's or E's or anything like that on them. I'm debating on letting you guys give yourself your own grade. Honest grade, right? Because you've been at Phoenix for a quarter, you know what mastery is. So we might just, like, I've given you feedback, right? All the feedback that you need of, like, right, wrong, look at this again. You can do a pretty good job of saying, oh yeah, this is progressing, I should go back and redo things. And actually, a lot of times you guys are harder on yourself than I even am, because I'll let a couple small mistakes slide when I can see what your mistake was, and I can track it down in your work. And some of you give yourselves progressings even when I would have given you a mastery, but that's great. It means I want to fix what I got wrong. So we'll talk about those tomorrow or Wednesday or whenever. If you didn't finish, I'm wondering if that's why your hand is up. If you didn't finish, all I did was put question marks next to the problems that you still need to finish. They're not wrong, they're not right, they just need finish. Yeah.
That was my question. But what I was gonna say, like, isn't like mastery supposed to be like over, like 90% and over?
So with math, the weird thing is you can like master a skill and get the answer wrong. Because you can carry out the process right, but if you accidentally do 2 times 3 is 5, I don't think you don't know how to multiply, right? I think you made a silly mistake, but if everything else in the process is right, what am I going to do? Say you don't know how to multiply? Like if I'm testing, can you solve an equation? I don't care if you multiply right. I honestly don't. I'm gonna like circle it and be like, this is actually 6, right? And like I make the little note. But like normally I'm like, you showed me you know how to solve the equation. Does that make sense? Yeah. I know it doesn't make a ton of sense that you could have the wrong answer, but have done it correctly. You just make a little small math mistake.
Unless you make a mistake in like 2 plus 2 is 6.
Right. But like a lot of times the mistakes I see are like 2 times 3 is 5 because you accidentally add, right, instead of multiplying. And I can like I catch those really fast because I know what mistakes 12-year-old brains make. So, Max.
When do we get to work on our tests if we didn't finish?
Either like whenever you want, if you come during AOR extensions, or after you have it back, it's yours to just do whatever you want with it.
Oh, so we can kind of extend it.
You can continue to, so your grade then is just a not finished until it's finished. Now, if you take a long time of being not finished, then your grade is just progressing because you are progressing towards mastery, right? Guys, again, progressing is not bad.
Yes, it is.
So, I'm a little confused what's out and why it's out. Since the only thing I said to have out is draft paper. My announcements before we dive in, because then I'm pretty much letting you guys work. Go ahead and sharpen your pencil so you can sit back down. Like my thing that I'm giving you to do today. My YouTube. Especially, homework is 411. Some of you guys did it last week because we went a little slow last week.
Wait, are we allowed to put that in now?
No, we haven't done 412 yet. We haven't checked either of them. No, you can't turn it in right now.
Can you get 400?
When do you turn in 411 and 412, Amelia? Wednesday. It's up here. Guys, no, because I got too many things to keep track of. Guys, I get it. I get it, and I agree with you. Actually, Amelia, like 12-year-old me would have been arguing the same thing as you. But here's the deal. I'm being selfish by saying that, and I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to be selfish every now and then. You have classmates who are trying to catch up on work, revise things that are progressing, all of that. I don't need my bin, like, disastrously, like, full of homework I'm not checking. Right? I'm not checking that homework yet. I don't want it. Please do not turn it in. You just make my life harder. Because then I have to, like, make a stack for them somewhere of, like, I don't care about these papers yet. Like, I want you guys to understand why teachers ask you the things we ask you. Like, please wait. Please hang on to those. It makes my job easier. Please don't make my job harder. On me trying to make your job easier, good segue there, I have started creating homework help videos when people reach out to me for help, which, reminder, you can email me. But when people just say, hey, this homework is kind of tough, or I know that things are going to be tough, I'm going to start making homework help videos, and especially if you email me and ask for stuff, because I can make these in the morning before school. I can make them like during lunch, or if I have a planning period. So this is just like our class videos, but it's going through, like, this is tonight's homework. It is going through, and I make note about the different trap doors that kids normally fall into. So if you want some help on your homework, I don't go super fast. So if you're trying to go as fast as possible, you may not want to wait for me, because a lot of times I have people in my room at the same time. I'm talking with people about the problems. We don't go super fast, but you can also kind of skip through the video. So if you are struggling, yeah, this is a fun one, right, Brenda?
That is so mean.
If you are struggling, please consult my YouTube. Reminder, if you Google CPM homework help, there are step-by-step hints and sometimes solutions on the CPM website, and math lunch is a thing. Talk to me first, because I have limited space, but if you are getting behind, you may come catch up on work by eating your lunch here and doing math at the same time. I will not put people any closer than 6 feet, so we're going to preserve the spacing for, like, eating without masks on and all that stuff. Jake.
Are you allowed to work during lunch? Like, not in...
You're always allowed to do whatever you want at lunch. Like, within school reason, but, like, no one's going to tell you to put your schoolwork away. Yeah. If you're, like, at a lunch table doing homework, do you think you're going to get in trouble?
Yeah.
That's silly, right? Like, I always did that. My friends and I, at breakfast before school, we would work on homework, which was a bad idea because that meant we didn't have our homework done. Don't do that. But, like, yeah, if you want to, like, take, and you've got a couple days to do homework, so, like, say tomorrow, some of you Math 8 people decide to work on, like, 4.1.2 at lunch, sweet. You don't have to come here. But I think we are still trying to keep the seating charts in the cafeteria. So, I mean, of course, whatever you got to do in the cafeteria, do what you got to do. And then you can do math. I don't care. Amelia.
Are you allowed to come to math lunch for fun?
If I'm not very crowded. I don't want to ever say no, but if I have too many people here, I have a maximum of people that I can have, right?
Like going for a table?
Yeah, essentially I can only have like 15, because we'll open up Mr. Hall's room as needed, but essentially I can only have 15. All right, our task, as we head into Chapter 4, talking about multiple representations, which, by the way, here's the whole chapter if you want to see it. It says this takes 2 days, but I bet we'll do it in 1. We can give it 2 days if we need to. Hey, I have not handed anything out yet, Max. If you're looking for the 411, 412 homeworks, I'm going to come around with those again in a minute. So this is everything that we're doing. That's CC2. It's not a huge chapter. So if you look down through, it's just got 7 sections, and it's all the same content.
You need us to get
It's not a huge chapter,
411
surprisingly.
out.
Yeah, just to make sure we have it, why don't we look at 411, 412, just to make sure you have it. If you don't, which I know some of you don't, raise your hand and I'll bring you one. If you need 411, 412, it's got the tiles on the front, like 2 like pillars of tiles. Go ahead and pull that out. Also, because there's a typo that we need to fix.
Oh yeah,
I know, I missed some things. You know. 412. Do we have it? Max, do you have it? Are you hearing the words we have now? I just repeated myself 3 times. Did you hear it or no? Do you have 411? If so, get it out. Look for it. That's killing me, man. I have a blood pressure issue and you are not helping with it. 411, if you can't find it right now, you need it. Where's your 411? You got it? Shove down pocket. Sketchy idea. Here we go. Anybody else need 411? What? I don't know. You got an extra, like, I don't know unless I check my grade book. Don't throw it away though. If anything, if it's an extra copy, give it back to me. Man, I think some of you are still confused. My goal is to get done with what we need to get done with and then give you homework time, but like I can wait longer than you can probably.
I'll take that bet.
Wait, that I can wait longer than you? Bet, man. I got 100 papers to grade. I bet I can keep myself busy longer than you.
I have 3 books to read.
Oh, well. Guess what? You also have a bus to catch.
Whoa!
I drive myself home, so I bet I can wait longer than you can.
Are you just gonna stay overnight until tomorrow?
Yeah, he's got his...
I get to school in the morning and Max is like, boo! Ha!
I win!
That's good.
As we start talking about algebra and geometry, and yes, your group is only getting 1 paper. Your group is only getting 1 paper. So do not think that there should be 3 and that someone's getting a short straw. The group has 1 paper. Well, you might want to wait for directions first and then go. Yeah, I can clap again, and I can clap as much as we need to. So, 4-2. Hey guys, please stop talking. You're making my job really hard today, and I get it, it's a Monday, but I just need to give you directions, and I'm going to give you the rest of the time to do what you're doing. Okay, so you'll get most of the time to talk with your classmates, but about math. You could not have done 4-2 yet. Hey Brenda, I need your focus, not your colored pencils. You could have not done, like it is not possible for you to have done the first homework problem. This is also why I said you couldn't turn the homework in yet, because this relates back to what we hadn't done yet. So please be aware, if you think you're done with that homework, you aren't, because you skipped the first problem because I told you to. So, on your homework page that you should be looking at right now, I had a typo where it deleted the 0, the 4, and the 5. So on your homework paper, right here, this should be 0, 4, 411. I literally just gave you that paper. And actually, I think it's 0, 4, 5, and 6, but I don't really care. So then, this would say if it helps copy figures 1, 2, 3. If you need these figures on your graph paper. But it's not these figures, it's the ones on the paper I just gave you. Listen, guys, just close your mouth, keep your hands down, and just listen for a second. Because a lot of you start thinking about questions and you stop listening. Actively listen. Eyes up on the board. You got 5 seconds before I start calling people out by name who are not looking at the board. On this paper, you have directions to be followed. These are not decoration. This is now a favorite phrase of mine. These are not decorations, they're directions. So, we're going to on graph paper, draw figures 0, 4, and 5. Then describe figure 100. Hey, I'm going to wait till you sit back down because I'm giving directions to the whole class, and I know you're not listening right now. Max, I need you to sit back down so I know you're listening. We're all waiting for you, man. Describe figure 100. I do not want you to draw it. Now, if you really want to, and you could like shrink it down, but I think if you shrink it down, it might, well, I don't know. It depends on the pattern that you see of whether or not a shrunken down figure would match a bigger one. By the way, just to put it out there, 2 figure 2s does not equal a figure 4, right? Like I had a couple people on the mastery trying to say, well, like if I double figure 2, that'll tell me what figure 4 is. That does not necessarily work. It might in a certain special situation, but that does not necessarily work. Put it down. For now, put it down. I know! Good gosh, Brenda, let me give my directions. No, trust me, it's not her. I think debts are the bane of my existence. Student debt, car debt, home debt. So, what will it look like? Like we were doing on the mastery, but now we're trying to get better at this. How will the tiles be arranged? So you might say, like if I'm looking at this doodad, you might say a square with this and that, right? Like I might describe things like that. You might say it's a rectangle because I moved this over there. Or you might say even something totally different, right? How you see it, I don't know. This is handout D of 5 different handouts. When your team thinks Gust, why are you working already? Yeah, you are. Guys, I'm going to start to do this more and more, and those of you that are always on task are going to get mad at your classmates. There's a distinct difference when I graded the masteries of who pays attention and who tries to work ahead and do their own thing. The people who try to do their own thing didn't do very well on the mastery. Like, they did fine, but they didn't do great. Like, I want you to do better than that. So, I'm not, like, you'll realize, like, attitude's going to change a little bit. Like, I'll wait for you. But I will not let you do your own thing while we're trying to talk together as a class. Generalize the pattern by writing a rule. This is like our y equals mx plus b. Or you could say tiles equals like something times the figure number. Like I don't care what variables you use. But if you want to use y equals mx plus b, that'll get you into the pattern that we're heading towards. Right? That's what we're working towards. And we're going to try to get rid of this word rule that they keep making us rule of like, or keep making us use of generalize that rule. So you should be able to determine the number of tiles in any figure. I should be able to walk up and say 642, how many tiles? And you should be able to like calculate it not instantly, but really quickly by using your rule. Then demonstrate the growth by using colors, arrows, labels, whatever you want, highlighters, colored pencils. Like, this is like a creative day, right? We're going to be like drawing, making colors. You can do it on your graph paper, but not on this paper. Because this paper, that I'm worried somebody's already started writing on in their groups, comes back to me. So those of you who have not listened to directions and have already started writing on this paper, maybe you should listen to directions next time. Then, what connection do you see between different representations? If we graphed it, if we made a table, like, what did you use to help you figure this out? You want to get through at least one of these today, but probably potentially more than one. Okay, because some of these patterns are easier than the other ones, but as you finish, I've got more. Right? So if the pattern you're looking at, you're like, psh, we got this. I got more. Right? If you have not actually done what this asks, you're not done with that paper. Right? First thing you need to do when you go to start working on this is notate which pattern you have. So on my graph paper, I would write pattern D. right? This is question 4-1, and I would write pattern D. So here's the other gist. The question on your homework does not have one right answer. Because it says for each tile pattern, I want you to just do at least one. Right? At least one. So guys, what you're doing right now goes with your homework. Right? So guess what? If you do this right now, that part of your homework is done essentially. Especially if you do this on graph paper and can then just staple it with your homework. Guys, I'm trying to make your life easier. Right? If we do this class activity, that is 4-2 from your homework. Questions. Now I'll take questions. Brenda.
If we label it on our graph paper as 4-1, will you still
As what
know
one?
that 4-1?
Oh, like 4-1? Yeah.
Will you still know it's the answers to 4-2?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they go together. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
You can label it 4-1/2 if you want, but then it looks like 4-half. Right? Problem 1/2. All right, now you're on your own to go. If you really don't like your pattern, you can come exchange it. Yeah, absolutely. If you really dislike your pattern, you can exchange it. I feel like you don't trust me when you say things like, hey, what you have up there is different than what we have. You're like in your head thinking, there's no way Mr. Hudson planned this. Like, this has to be a mistake.
No, I
He
get
doesn't know what he's doing.
anxious and stressed out when it comes to school, especially your
Yeah, no, I appreciate you keeping me true and honest and whatever, but yeah, every group is supposed to have a different one. So otherwise, people can just listen to you and, write down what you wrote down. Do not just agree with your partner. Actually think about what they say and think about, is it right or not? Whose is this? Because on the floor it seems like a bad place for it. And no name seems like a bad lack of name. Check on that one. We're going up to 3 2s, right?
The reason why I asked is because I was doing it.
Probably.
Like, I feel like I've already done this.
Yeah, probably because you ended up with like an extra copy of it or something.
So you're using Firefox.
Yeah, Chrome's been having some security issues. Bathroom.
You're not wrong. I might switch to Firefox.
I am getting annoyed though because it's having to import like all my passwords and or like learn my new stuff. So when I go to a website that normally has
Can I
cookies,
measure the size of one of these?
no, because you can't open that container. That's why I taped it. Now, if you want to on your own get a candy corn and do measurements of your own candy corn, that's up to you. But that container is sealed until
I
Friday.
might have to do that.
Just saying. Assessments. Right? I thought about what middle schoolers were going to ask and do. And then, in case people think I'm not honest with my answer or whatever, the answer is written inside of there. Oh, there's zero chance you're going to see it because it's folded up on a piece of paper. Even when you open the jar, you can't see it. You have to unfold the piece of paper. Ha. I win. Check. 3, 2, 4 to 3 closure. I have not put in math yet. So that's the only thing you might potentially owe me.
That was the one I was talking about. So yeah, I turned that in last math lunch.
Found it. Good work. Now, stay caught up. Stay caught up.
You ruined the fun!
I mean, that's my job.
Yeah, that's painful.
That's why there's Mr. Hudson, and then there's DJ Hudcap. DJ Hudcap doesn't ruin the fun. By the way, what I have forgotten to announce up until this point, tomorrow will have a requests list where you can put down requests for the canteen, and DJ Hudcap will screen the songs and see if they're appropriate for a school dance. Which means, if you're going to put a request on there that is not appropriate, please don't waste my time. Don't make me screen a song that is obviously inappropriate and I'm not going to play. Yeah.
Can I make you a hat that says
Oh my god, yes.
HUD, like my first name, and then CAP, so it's a joke. Not really a joke. It's because I was a car guy. Now I'm more of like into woodworking, but I was into cars, like back when I was in high school and college. So like a hub cap, but HUD cap, right? Like, so, and wait, this is really bad. If you do that, is that then going to be my HUD cap?
Yeah.
Because a hat is my HUD cap.
this is a wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the one thing that you're probably going to care about. This is a competition.
What?
We're going to see which group can either solve the most of these by the end of class tomorrow, or the first group to get all 5 of them done, and those people will get candy. So,
And you get all 5 of them done first. Do they have to be right?
yeah, done doesn't count if it's wrong. So once you're done with yours, get another one. Yeah, make sure you're sharing the paper so you can all get a copied down. Like rearrange the tiles? No, it like needs to look like this. This is like you've been asked to take this design and enlarge it for multiple like applications. They're on the paper. The one paper that you're sharing as a group, they're on there. I can put them back up here, but they're on the paper. This.
One person probably can do it.
All 3. Everybody's drawing this, especially because everybody needs their homework done. And since this goes with the homework, so you only really need 1 for the homework. The minimum requirement is 1. But your goal is to be able to do all 5. We're going to do this into tomorrow. Now, my other goal is that some people would be bold enough to let me hang up their work in the hallway to show some really cool, like, color-coded, like, here's how we see patterns growing and stuff like that. We can even turn this into a poster. If people want to make a poster of their pattern tomorrow, I've got poster paper we can use. Just today, we don't have enough time. Oh, hey, a table. A table's a really good idea. A table's a really good idea. Literally have made this into a giant view. This hangs on my nose. I can pull the bottom of my mask off. It's still hanging. I get it. It's not super comfortable. But like, it just needs to be. I I love color coding. Well, your y is determined by your x's. I would start with like 0, 1, 2, 3, but you could do any. That's fine, you don't have to draw all those. Okay. So when you come back here, we're all doing the same thing. You mean x squared plus. Oh, x plus 1 plus 1 squared or what? You can use it when you're saying 2 squared. So what is it? Okay, so 4 plus 1 is 5. I see it. You can label it right here. It's like x plus 1 squared. Is that also how you're thinking about it? Like x plus 1 squared? Oh, it's a good way to the rectangle, not the square. Different ways to see it. Yeah.
This is super easy.
So, this is why you guys need to be talking to each other. And you're not working with each other. So Max broke the top part off.
Okay, ready?
But then if he uses the left part with the center, he's saying it's a square.
You can borrow this out your own.
The top part is broken off of that, right? Because if we break off the top, we don't look at it. 4 by 4, all the way. Okay, so that's, but you guys don't have to see it the same way, right? You can see it one way, you can see it a different way. They can both be right. So, this is x plus x plus 1 on your drawing. Don't change your drawing. Put out your, get out your rules. So then what is this? Break it differently here than here. That's where you want to break it. That's square. That's part of the top. That's part of the line. I know we gotta choose how to see it. Or we can put all of these together. We don't even have to break it apart. That'll make more sense if you do multiple. Like, I can do more than one pattern. So, if you relate your table to your picture, it may not relate all the things, but if you relate your table to your graph, doesn't the table give us the points on the graph?
Because your
Table where figure number and number of tiles, figure number of tiles, that can be the points on your graph, right? really just trying to make you like just in your own brain think like, how does this stuff make sense? Yeah, there's no negative x's in these situations because there are no negative figures.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, I want to show you something because tomorrow, also, I shouldn't say this because then people slow down. But likely what I'm going to do, I got to double check my calendar. But likely what I'm going to do is, because this stuff's fun, I'm probably just going to make 411 take both days and just push the homework. That doesn't mean don't do it if you have it. But if I push this homework to Wednesday, this will push to Thursday. Right? So if I push the homework, I'll push collection. Because I want to encourage you that as you're drawing this stuff, make your life easier. So what I mean, and Max was just doing this really, really well. Max was drawing a picture of this stuff on his paper, but instead of drawing every individual square, he drew what he's visualizing and said, I see x plus 1 squared, and then I see, like, I'm just giving them a tiny bit of it, but then the other Max said, no, I don't see x plus 1 squared, I see x times x plus 1. And they saw it differently, which is also right. There are more than one ways to Florida. So, if you and your teammates, if you and your teammates are not directly working together, make sure you don't tell each other that you're wrong. Compare your answers to each other and say, that also works. But this is a great way to draw your pictures, is you don't have to draw all of the little squares. You could just draw what is up here, what is up here, what is up here, like what is going on.
I was like, oh no, my lines aren't straight enough. I don't use my
Shameless plug. Aiden, announce this announcement. Shameless plug. Math Count starts today. Aiden and Colin have taken the initiative to start up the Math Counts team for Phoenix. Math Counts is as little or as much as we want it to be. At a minimum, it's people getting together to do math. Math that you don't have to do, right? Not your homework, like extension type math, but math that will make you smarter and make you better at math, make you more confident at math, and it's creative. If you can like think about math as being creative, like what we're doing right now with how do I see this? So, the types of problems, because my Math 8 people are more likely to bring people to Math Counts, the gist of it is that there's two different types of problems. There are types of problems that we try to solve without a calculator because they're designed to be able to be solved without a calculator. And then there are types of problems that are difficult enough that we use a calculator. I have a whole big key that tells me the difficulty of these things. So, like, we can go through and say, like, well, we want an easy problem today, or we want a really difficult problem today. I know, I said it, sorry. But guys, I feel like this is for us. I feel like they said, hey, Phoenix, come do Math Counts. Right, so there's my shameless plug. I know that that's probably not really a phoenix. I'm not quite sure what it is. Looks like a weird goose. It's a magical turkey. There we go. All right, but we are out of time. Please keep these papers. If your team is still working on that paper, hang on to it for now. Well, you need that for your homework. So I'll take that back if you want. Yeah, if you're done with that, I'll take that back if you want. You got to remember which one you're doing, though, so I hope you wrote it down. I'll take those papers back if you want, because they're not hole punched, I just realized. Make sure you wrote down. pattern C. I asked you to create a pattern C written down somewhere. Make sure one of you has written down pattern D. You guys have pattern E as in dog. You guys have pattern C as in cat. See it? I have another extension. Where is it? Where is it? You keep it tag. You want to keep this? You want me to keep it? Okay. You guys had A. So this one mark you A, and I'll do that A. Yeah, that happens.